well of cultural change. We're also going to talk a little bit about customer relationship management, and then also some marketing stuff as well.
Yeah.
But without getting into too much of that nitty-gritty detail, that's more of a strategic level for managers of organisations. So we're talking about whether or not you do need to upgrade some software and some business systems in the back end, as well as your marketing campaigns. And do you do rebranding under the NDIS and things like that? And so, is there a value to it? Like we know that there is, but whether or not it actually is necessary. So I think one of the conversations that I've had with the manager is the fact that they're aware of the importance of making all these drastic changes, but they're also aware of the amount of the cost that's associated to them, and they're not to do everything at once. So to have a strategic plan in place from their committee, right down to make sure that all their staff are across the same message, that we're not going to make all these changes for our organisation at once. We might start to employ someone to do a revamp of our website, and then to start some marketing collateral for us, and to maybe do a reskin of our logo at a later date.
Yeah.
And with our current CRM system, well, we know that it can integrate with other payment gateways. We don't need to do a re-overhaul and bring in a new service provider for that. We can just make a few adjustments along the way, and it's important that they start making those now, as opposed to waiting until full skim rollout is upon us, and again we go back to chasing our tail and we're behind the 8 ball already.
Yeah, and they're all really great tips, and marketing is a big thing, but there's a certain way of marketing that's still the flavour of the month, that's relatively free, and that is word of mouth as well.
Yes, exactly right.
So getting families that you're already engaged with now really on board, up to speed with the NDIS, building them as confident, connected carers, to take from Association for Children with Disabilities term, building them up, and encouraging them to spread the word is another way of marketing. And of course, investment in marketing is a big thing, but being connected to your community, and your community knowing where you are, those local partnerships are key, and strengthening the local partnerships that early child intervention providers already have with different mainstream services will be really critical, not only for outcomes for children, but for their viability. People know where they are and what they do, that they're accessible, and that they're really engaged in mainstream settings where children are.
Yes.
Then that's a huge positive.
Yeah. And that comes back into the conversations and the language that we're using when we do have those conversations with families about the value behind the service, and educating them about exactly what it is that's gone into it, and promoting the fact that their organisation is forward thinking and they are ready for the NDIS, and we're going to be here for you once full skim rollout is upon us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it also supports what early child intervention is all about. Services in the mainstream, pushing the inclusion, responsibility of everyone. And so those local partnerships are not just only for your financial viability when it comes to the NDIS, it's about best practice and the way that you should be working. So strengthening those relationships should be critical anyway, but obviously they would support children coming in and out of your service.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.